You're listening to today's inspirational message on the Proverbs with Kurt Bjorklund.
So Proverbs 9 has taken us on a short journey of exploring the simple, the scoffer, and then the discretion of when to give feedback. And what comes next, beginning really in verse 11 and following, is this exhortation about wisdom and folly again. And this has been a repeated theme throughout Proverbs. It says, "For by me your days will be multiplied." This is wisdom speaking. "And years will be added to your life. If you are wise for yourself, but if you scoff, you alone will bear it." And then it says this, "The woman folly is loud. She is seductive and knows nothing. She sits at the door of her house, and she takes seat in the highest places in town, calling to those who pass by, who are going straight on their way. Whoever is simple," here's that word again, the naive, the open, "let him turn in here. And to him who lacks sense, she says this," and then it goes into another proverb that we'll talk about tomorrow. Now, here's what this is there's a public invitation to folly that is generally going to be publicly celebrated. That's the idea of sitting in the highest places in town at the door of the house, calling out in public and saying, "Come on in here." And here's maybe just a way to think about this, and that is what is generally most celebrated in our culture may not be wisdom, but may in fact be folly. Now, certainly, wisdom has a public invitation as well. We've seen that throughout the study of Proverbs. There's a public invitation. It's a secret invitation to anybody and everybody, but there is without any doubt a public invitation here to folly. And there's an acclaim that comes that says, if I respond to this, then good things come. And then there's a second thing. And that is when it talks about how your life will be multiplied if you pay attention to wisdom, and how when you scoff, you'll bear it. One of the things that Proverbs teaches, and we have to be careful in how we state this and apply it, because it's true. Proverbs are true generally, but there is also a sense in which what Proverbs gives us is proverbial, meaning there are exceptions. But generally speaking, the bad choices that we make, we pay for in the future, but we experience the benefits now. And the good choices that we make, we pay for now, but we get the benefit in the future. That's a James Clear statement, but it really applies to what Proverbs teaches. Let me say that again. The bad choices that we make, we pay for in the future, but we reap the benefits of them now. So, for example, not spending time in the Word might give us a benefit now of added time, or not exercising, or not investing in our key relationships. We have more time, but we'll pay for it in the future. And the good choices we make now are something we pay for now, but the big benefit is in the future. And wisdom is certainly one of those choices that isn't just a pure choice, but to invest our lives with the things that are wise is something that we clearly will reap the benefits of in time. But here's again why this is tied when it says the woman folly is loud and seductive and knows nothing. The thought, and not so much exercise or things like that, that's well thought of as being now, future benefit, all those things. Spiritually, in our culture, the idea of folly, calling out and inviting the simple to come in, is to say you can believe things, you can embrace things that are not God's ways, and it will work out well. And that is a destructive idea. And a lot of times, because again, the simple doesn't even realize they're doing it, they're just simply saying, this just makes the most sense to me. And so the challenge for me, for you, is to say, I want to spend my life, spend my time seeking and pursuing whatever it is that God says, because that will give my life the best standing. Because then I'll understand. There's an old joke that has gone around for years. It's probably politically incorrect. It's a hair joke, so I'll try to modernize it. But there were three women or men, you could tell it about either, who were marooned on an island. One a redhead, one dark hair, one lighter hair. And a genie shows up and says, you can make any wish you want. And the redhead says, well, I'd like to be home with my family. And boof, the redhead's home with his family. Then the dark-haired person says, I'd like to be home with my friends and family. And poof, she's taken home to be with her family and friends. And then the light-haired person comes up and says, oh, I wish my friends were here. Now, that's a goofy joke, goofy story. But the idea is, when you study the Word of God, you start to develop a non-naive, simple mindset that can see what is deceptive in this world. Now, that may not tie to that joke entirely, that old statement, but it helps us understand that folly is always calling us to invest in the things of this world.
Thanks for joining us here today. There's a lot of great content to explore on Orchard Hill Plus and on the Orchard Hill main feed from the weekend. Have a great day.